Pulse. Welcome UNLV students to the Shotokan Karate Studies program. By now you should know you've already warmed up, you've gotten the warm-up that you feel your body needs, you're adequate for starting the program this morning. So let's go ahead and get started with our typical, quick, general warm-up. Ready? And Hajime. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Go. Neck. All right. Warmed up good there. Let's turn to the side. Bring our heels to our glutes. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and do some high knees as well. Get my workout recorded. Here we go. High knees. You can do this slow, just like I'm doing. Again, just bringing your knees up. You can do it fast if you feel like kind of bouncing a little bit, working your calves a little bit. Or if you want to go slow, go slow. And yame. All right, let's come up on our toes, stretching out our calves. And yame. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do some body hip twists. And yame. Good. Arm up across the side, stretching out our shoulder. Good, other side. Again, don't hold these too long. Just doing dynamic stretches here. Nothing too static, nothing being held for too long. Switching over. Other side. Good. Feet just wider than shoulder width. Go down and touch the floor. Go to the right. Back to center. Go to the left. Back to center. All right, make that a little wider. We're gonna go down to the right, turning up on our left heel, stretching out our hamstring. Good, now we're gonna turn to the left in a long front stance. Pushing on the quad here, pushing the knee over the toe. And down to a runner stand, or a runner stretch. Good. Back up. All right, we're gonna do everything to the other side now. Leaning to the left onto the right heel. Toes pointed up. Stretching out your hamstring. All right, let's rotate that all the way around. Good front stance. Long, deep. Pushing on the quad, pushing the knee out over the toe. Getting a good stretch. Transition that into a runner stretch. And come back to center. Come back standing. Good. Turn around, fix your gi. Back to me. Yoi. Subidachi. Break. Yoi. Seiza. Dojo-kun. 一つ、人格完成に人を盛ること。一つ、誠の道を守ること。一つと力の精神を養うこと。一つ、礼儀を重んずること。一つ、景気の湯を戒ること。Ready? That's it. よい。しばらくち。Ready? よい。So today's class is an advanced class. This is advanced class number 7. And what I've been focusing on this entire week for each class, so beginner, intermediate, and this class advanced, are kata. So with the beginner kata, we just started off with beginners level kata, intermediate the same. So today for advanced class, we're going to be working through Heian Shodan, Heian Nidan, Sandan, Yondan, Godan, Tekki Shodan, and Bassai. Alright, so hopefully you're advanced enough that you know all those kata. You should be at this point if you've been following the series. So you should know those kata up to this point. The one that may be a struggle for some is a Bassai. Alright, so but if you've taken martial arts before or you're just looking for a refresher, again, this is going to be a great workout for you today. So that's really what this is today. This is really not about instruction as much. So if you were to walk into my dojo today, it's a Friday afternoon and we're going to start class, this is what we would be doing. Alright, this would just be a general fitness class working on all of your kata that you know up to this point. If there's kata that you know that we're not covering in class today, feel free to throw those in as you go through this set with us. So what we're going to do is work through each kata. We're going to go through them slowly. Alright, so a little bit, I'm not going to count them out. I don't want to go by the numbers for any of these. I'm just going to kind of tell you. Alright, these we're going to go through slow. The next set we'll go through at a moderate pace. The next set we'll go through with speed and power. Then we'll go back to a moderate pace. Then we'll try to get back to them again with a slower pace as a cool down. So that's a lot of kata today, right? That's, I believe, 5 sets of 7 kata that we're going to go through. So should give us plenty of time in this hour-ish long class to get through all 7 kata. Again, probably around 5 times that we're going to go through each particular kata. So mix it up if you want, right? So we're going to count through these. We're going to go 1 through 5, 6, 7, okay? Maybe the next time we'll drop and go 7 to 1. And then the next time maybe we'll count up. And the last time maybe we'll mix them up just to kind of throw a little bit of confusion at your brain so you're not just, all right, I know this one, I know this one, I know this one. You know, as you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you just keep kind of doing that, we'll throw a little bit of confusion at our brains and kind of mix things up, count backwards, things like that. All right, and again, so this first one we're going to count, we're going to go slow. All right, so just kind of think about each of your techniques as you're going through these. That's kind of the point of going through kata slowly, is to think about your kihon. Think about the technique that you've just executed. Think about the technique that's coming. This gives you that chance to kind of look before you strike, things like that. All right, so make sure your neck is nice and warmed up today. All right, make sure your shoulders, your spine is warmed up so you can make sure you're getting your turns, good hip movement. All right, this is the opportunity for you to really hone your kata, right? So kind of focus on, all right, if I'm doing kata today, then let's focus on making it look good. Let's focus on making it right. All right, so good hip movement, right? Good stances as you go through each kata. Since you're going through these over and over, that's exactly what you should be looking at and trying to focus on, is making your kata better and better and better. All right, so all that said, let's go ahead and get started with Heian Shodan. I'll also try to mix up where I'm starting and finishing these katas. So I'll start here maybe move to here, just so you get a different perspective on movement and where I am. And that way you can maybe see something that you may have missed in another kata or previously as we've gone through these together. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we'll go through protocol together, so you hear me announce all protocol. We'll announce kata together. I'll kind of remind you how fast we're going or the tempo, and then we will go ahead and start executing kata. All right, yoi, suburachi, ready, yoi, Heian Shodan, slow pace, ready, hajime. At the end of each kata, I'll give you a few seconds to yourself before we initiate the next kata. All right, so yame. So typically, again, not everyone's slow speed is the same. Not everyone's medium tempo is the same, etc. So when I finish kata, I'll give you a few seconds, 5 to 10 seconds to kind of finish what you're doing. I'll call yame to stop, and then we'll talk for a second if we need to, and then we'll go ahead and walk right into the next kata. Catching your breath, all right? At some point, we will stop. We will come together here in a ready stance or shizentai and breathe. So you take a deep breath in, come up on your toes, and release the breath out and go back down. And again. All right, so we'll do that a few times as well. Just be aware so that you know going forward what to expect. All right, so we're going to start with Heian Nidan. All right, so make sure you have room for that kick that starts here at the beginning of the kata. Ready? Yoi. Suburachi. Ready? Yoi. Heian Nidan. Slow pace. Ready? Hajime. And yame, very good. All right, so that's Heian Nidan. Just a couple seconds for you to catch your breath. Okay, again, we're going through this series slowly. Let's go ahead and get ready for Heian Sandan. All right, Heian Sandan. For this one, let me change it up. I'll start it over here. Okay. Yoi. Suburachi, right? Yoi. Heian Sandan. Slow pace. Ready. Hajime. Oi. and yame. All right, one thing to quickly discuss, space. All right, you may not have the space that I have here, so correction steps, kirikeashi. If you have to make a correction step, make that correction step. And I call that out because I just made a correction step. So here at the end of the kata, I'm here, and then kibarachi, and I'm here. Okay. At this point, I'm supposed to step to the right in an oizuki punch, but I don't have room. So instead of this, right, I'm close to the wall. I'm just going to move my left foot to my front foot. All right. So that's my kirikeashi. That's my correction step. I'm just making the space work for me. What you may have to do in the real world, right? That's what kata eventually translates to is kumite. So kumite translates into a bunkai, where you're actually interpreting or putting into practice what you're doing with this kata. So maybe you don't have room in a bar or on the street, wherever this happens to be taking place. You have to make corrections. You have to adjust in order to make something work. All right. So just be aware. And again, if you don't have the space, do the best you can, and then try to make correction steps where you need to make correction steps. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for Heian Yondan. Ready? Yoi. Sudarachi. Right? Yoi. Heian Yondan. Slow pace. And hajime. And yame. Very good. All right, so that's kind of Heian Yondan. All right. I think I had to make a correction step in there. And again, don't worry about making those correction steps. You're not doing this for a competition. I'm not watching you do this kata. Again, just making sure you're doing techniques properly, stances properly, and going through the kata properly. If you have to make correction steps, do what you need to do. All right. Let's go ahead and get ready for Heian Godan. Again, I'll just move to another spot. I typically, for the purposes of the camera, won't start here or there because I feel like you won't see me performing the kata as well. So typically, if I'm going to have to change back and forth between spots, I'll go here or here. Now, you at home, if you're watching and you don't have a camera on you, so change it up, right? If you have 4 sides to a room, start on each side, all right, so that you're not getting too locked into landmarks, right? So as you're doing kata, and you're always starting in this one spot, so that whenever you go through a particular kata, you always know, okay, when I'm at this part in Heian Yondan, I should be right here, right? Don't get too locked into something like that, so move around so that you're not locked into landmarks, like, all right, am I in the right place? Okay, good. Because again, kata translates to kumite, kumite translates into a bunkai or a real world situation. You don't want to be locked into landmarks, or if you were to go into a competition, let's say you wanted to start doing kata competition, right? Your layout or your dojo at home is not going to be what's at a competition, right? So they don't have the landmarks that you have at your house, right? So when you're here, you're like, okay, the light switch is right there, the doorknob is right there, right? I'm in the perfect spot. Those things aren't going to be at a competition, right? So just understand that you have to know the kata and know yourself. Know where you're going to be throughout the technique, doing the techniques, and don't worry about landmarks as much. So again, try to move around, try to switch it up so you don't get locked into those particular things. All right, so I'll start Heian Godan here. All right, ready. Yoi, Sudachi, ready. Yoi. Heian Godan. Slow pace, ready. Ajime. Hey. And Yame, very good. All right, so 2 more kata. We're gonna go through Tekki Shodan, and we're gonna go through Bassai before we switch to a little bit faster of a pace, okay? All right, so Tekki Shodan, this is your horizontal kata. We're just going left and right, no forward or backward movement. So I'm gonna line up right here in front of you. That's the best way to get this one done, all right? Okay, ready? So for this one, protocol is a little different, right? You start here in Yoi, bow in, back to Yoi. Now you're going to bring your right foot to your left, to here, feet together, okay? That means toes and heels, hands crossed in the front. And now it's kind of Tekki Shodan, slow pace, and Ajime. All right, Yame. All right, that one's pretty short, pretty to the point. Your pace should have been right there moderately with mine. Really not a lot of room for correction steps with this particular kata. You pretty much have to have the room unless you're shortening your kibidachi to something like very short like this instead of being more wide like this. Okay, not a lot of room for those corrections. All right, so this next kata is a big one. This next kata is a long one. This next kata is going to take your breath. All right, it's going to test your cardio. Bassai. All right. So again, somewhat slow pace on this one. Do your best to keep up if this is not a kata that you know. Maybe it's a kata that you're practicing. Do your best to keep up. If you're not comfortable at all, do one of the katas that you do know in its place. Again, this is really about fitness and kata practice. So for any of these kata, if you don't feel comfortable going through it at a pace that we're going through it at, do a different kata. Do one that you know. As long as you're coming to class and getting the practice in for your kata, that's the point of the class. All right, ready? All right. Yoi. Sudachi, right? Yoi. All right. Bassai. Slow pace. Ready? Hajime. very good. Okay, so that's all of the kata that we're going to go through. Let's take a few seconds here to breathe. So inches in time. Let's come up with your breath in. And Moichido. All right, so now we're going to go through all 7 kata again. This time we're going to go through them at a moderate pace. So no reason to go slow. Go at whatever pace you would typically go at if you were to show anyone your kata. Right, whether it's an instructor, a fellow student, or for a competition, this should be the speed that you're moving at. Okay? All right. So for this one, I'm going to call out that this is a moderate pace. All right, so as we go through these, you'll hear me reminding you, moderate pace. It should also be here at the bottom of the screen. Okay? Ready? Yoi. Subarachi. Right? Yoi. Heian Shodan. Moderate pace. Ready. Hajime. In Yame. All right, I'll try to give you a few seconds after I finish because I know, again, your moderate pace and my moderate pace are not going to be the same. Maybe you finished before me, maybe you finished after me. Therefore, I just want to give you that time before I call stop, before I give you a second to catch your breath, and before we move on to the next kata. Okay, now that I've done that, let's get ready for Heian Nidan. Okay, so again, remember you have to have room behind you for your kick. You start, so make sure you have that room. All right, not really a lot of kirkiashi correction available for something like that unless you just don't do the kick. So what you would do is come up to here, as maybe I'm this close and I know there's a kick coming, so I can just raise my leg, come out, and land here. All right, so I didn't execute the kick, but I mimicked the movement of the kick to the point that I could based on the space that I had available. So if that's something that you have to do, that's fine as well. All right, but make sure that you're actually getting to the point. You're not skipping over it completely, but you're here. You're going to raise your leg, kick, and come back down into your Shotokan. All right. So make sure that the movement is potentially there, right? You just didn't have the room to execute the kick. You moved on to the next Kihon technique. All right, ready? Yoi. Subarachi, right? Yoi. Heian Nidan. Moderate pace. Ready? Hajime. Oi. And Yame, very good. Okay, so again, take the time at this point to fix your gi if you need to fix your gi. Take this time to take in some deep breaths, if you need to prepare for the next kata, Heian Sandan. And again, I don't want to give you too much of a break. This is a fitness cardio style class where we're practicing kata, where I'm making you tired, all right? Which may mean your kata may suffer, which means you need to work on your kata. Okay, so Heian Sandan. Since I started there last time, I'll just start it here, and then maybe for Heian Yondan, I'll move over there. Okay, Heian Sandan. Ready? Yoi. Suburachi. Ready? Yoi. Heian Sandan. Moderate pace. Hajime. Oi. And Yame, very good. All right, that's Heian Sandan. Again, I almost always have to do a correction step at that particular kata right there at the end. So if you find yourself doing that as well, I feel your pain. All right, next up is Heian Yondan. Start this one here. Should have plenty of room to do this kata. Actually, maybe not. So where I typically don't have room is on the way back. I've done my kakiwaki, my kick, and then once I get here and there's the 3 Muroto Ukes, then the Hiza Geri or the Hiza Uchi, either one, I typically might not have room. So I might have to do a Kirikiashi at one of my Muroto Ukes. Okay, so maybe you'll notice that whenever I'm going through this kata. Maybe you'll notice it yourself whenever you go through this at home in your own space. Okay. All right, ready? So what I'm going to do, just to try to avoid that, is step forward a little bit. I think that might help me. All right, ready? Suburachi, right? Yoi. Heian Yondan. Hajime. And Yame, very good. All right, didn't really help me much in my Kirikiashi. I still have to get that correction step in with those Muroto Uke. All right, not sure if it helped you or not, but again, if you don't have the space, just remember you have that option. All right, so let's get ready for Heian Godan. All right, Heian Godan I performed over there last time, so we'll start it over here this time. Ready? Yodachi, Suburachi, right? Yoi. Heian Godan. Moderate pace. Hajime. And yame. All right, very good. That kata I typically don't run out of room on. That kata, it just flows correctly in order to get that entire kata done without having to make any correction steps. But that one being done, now we're moving on to Tekki Shodan, our horizontal kata. Okay, let's get ready. Yoi, Sudachi, right? Yoi. Right foot to left, feet together, announce kata, Tekki Shodan. Moderate pace, this is competition pace. Ready? Hajime. Alright, yame. Alright, again that one with a moderate pace. You should be finishing right along there with me. Maybe 1 to 2 kihon behind me at the most. Maybe 1 to 2 kihon in front of me at the most. Alright, let's get ready for the last kata, Bassai. Alright, this is going to take your breath again because we're moving at a faster pace than we were before. Let's see. I think I have room. We'll start it here. Ready? Yoi. Sudachi, right? Yoi. Bassai. Moderate pace. Ready? Hajime. And yame. Very good. Alright, so let's come back together here. Let's breathe through this one. Alright, feet just wide of the shoulder width. Breathe in. And in. Oichido. Yame. Alright, so if you have to pause the video, pause the video. Take a couple breaths. Take a sip of water. Towel off if you need to. If you don't need to, stick with me here. Alright, let's get ready for the next set. Alright, this next set is going to be speed and power. So don't want you to rush through the kata as fast as you can. When I say speed and power, I mean your techniques should be done fast and with power. So I don't want you just to rush through as fast as you can to get through the kata. That's not what this is about. You should still be finishing at approximately the same time you just did for that moderate pace, but there should be speed and power in your techniques, right? So you should be able to emote that speed and power. For this one, what we've done before, right, with the first 2 sets, we hit our ki points, all right? And that's very important. You should always hit your ki points. And this one, still important. I still want you to hit your ki points, but you may have ki in other points. You may be into the kata so much, or you're evoking so much speed and power with your techniques, that maybe there's a ki that comes out, and that's okay. All right, that's kind of what I'm looking for with this one. When there's speed and power involved, when there's power involved, you're breathing out. Sometimes there's a sound that comes with that. That is your ki, all right? That is the transmission of power out, right? Whenever you're striking something or someone. Okay, so just be aware of that. You'll hear me probably throughout this set. You'll hear several different ki's in different parts that aren't ki points specifically in the kata, and that's okay. So you do the same, all right? Heian Shodan, we'll start here. All right, ready? Subidachi, right? Yoi. Heian Shodan, speed and power. Ready? Hajime. Yame? All right, very good. So again, emoting speed and power. Sometimes you're gonna get extra ki's. Don't think I had any in there, maybe one. So again, just be aware of it. Just be aware that it's okay. Just be aware that it may be expected, okay? You ready for Heian Nidan? I always kind of start Heian Nidan here because of the room that I have for my kick. If I start here, I'm afraid I'll kick something there. All right, so start here. Step up a little bit. Yoi. Subidachi. Right. Yoi. Heian Nidan. Speed and power. Ready. Hajime. And Yame. Good. All right. These should feel like you're in an action movie. These should feel like you're Scott Adkins, like you're Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's your Ralph Macchio. All right. Speed and power. You're in a movie. You're being filmed. Actors are coming at you. You're defending yourself. You're putting on a performance. This should look just like that. All right. That's kind of what you're going for on this one. All right. So Heian Yondan. Step back to here. Actually, I'll go here because I did it here last time. All right. Ready? Yoi. Subidachi. Right. Yoi. Heian Yondan. Speed and power. Ready. Hajime. Yondan. All right, there's Heian Yondan. All right, let's go to Heian Godan. So I'll start on this side. Again, let's just try to roll through. All right, I want you tired. Ready? Heian Godan. Speed and power. Ready? I'm so sorry. Let's go through protocol. Ready? Yoi. Subidachi. Ready? Yoi. Heian Godan. Speed and power. Ready. Hajime. You know what I mean? That was kind of a short kata when you think about it. I didn't feel like that took as long as some of the kata before. I don't think there's as many kihon techniques in that kata as you may believe. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for Tekki Shodan. Again, start right here in front of you. Yoi. Subidachi. Right. Yoi. Left or right foot to left. Tekki Shodan. Power and speed. Ready. Hajime. Oi. Alright, Yame. Okay, so we've gone through 3 sets of all 7 kata. My time shows we're right at 45 minutes. So we don't have time to go through them 2 more sets. So as I promised at the beginning of class, 5 sets. So I'm gonna go through it. Let's go through 1 more set. I'll mix it up, alright? And then we'll go ahead and close class. And maybe, if you have time, rewind and go through maybe another set on your own. Again, it's up to you. You're at home doing this practice. This is really for you. So if you don't feel like you've gone through this class adequately with enough practice, just rewind it, go through it again, okay? So this time we should be cooling down. So let's go through it faster than slow, slower than moderate. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. And we're going to mix these up. All right, so let's start with Heian Sandan. Ready? So we should be doing 7 here. So we'll start with Heian Sandan. Ready? Yoi. Actually, for all of these, since we're cooling down, let's skip protocol. I'll just start back here. I'll announce the kata to surprise you, and we'll just start rolling through. Okay? Heian Sandan. All right, the pace, I'm going to call this slow to moderate. All right? And Hajime. Hey. All right. not going to keep you too long between each one. So, Yame, try to keep up as much as you can with this one. Let's go right into hand Shodan. Ready? And slow to moderate. Hajime. Alright, again, not keeping you very long. Let's get into Tekki Shodan. Okay, go ahead and get into your Tekki Shodan Yoi. And slow to moderate. Hajime. Alright, good. Not too much time in between. Let's go ahead and go with hand Godan. Yoi. Hand Godan. Slow to moderate. Hajime. Made a mistake in that one. Maybe you can rewind it and catch where I made my mistake. Alright. Alright, so what have we not done? Let's go ahead and do Bassai. Alright, so start Bassai back here. Ready. Bassai, slow to moderate. Hajime. Alright, a few seconds for you to finish. And Yame. Good. Alright. I think the only thing missing is Heian Yondan. Alright, I think I'm correct. Start back here. Yoi. Heian Yondan. Slow to moderate. Hajime. Oi. All right, pretty sure I hit all of them. I think we did. I think we hit them all. All right, so come back to center. Yoi, subrach, right. Yoi, seiza. All right, for this meditation, think about one of your kata. Think about one that maybe you need some work on and go through it slowly in your mind. All right, remembering your ki points, go through the entire kata. And mokso. Mokso yome, zensen yore. And tate. Yoi. Subrach. Right. Yoi. Os. All right. Thank you all for joining me for this class, this advanced class on kata, going through 7 kata, right, and trying to vary the speed of that kata. Again, this is a great fitness class. This is a great workout class. So if you're just looking for some fitness and you want to do martial arts, this is a great class to come back to and practice a lot of your kata at various speeds. All right, so thank you for joining me for this class. We'll see you again next week.